I know we're going to have Max Baucus. He's going to be coming out and talking in just a little bit. We're also going to have Nancy Pelosi. But let me tell you who else we're going to be talking to in just a little bit. Isiah Thomas, the newest member of Florida International University. The president of Florida International University, the esteemed Dr. Mark Rosenberg. And formerly with the University of Miami and the Cleveland Browns, and now with FIU, Pete Garcia. Question for the audience. Question for the audience. Can you all hear me? How many people here believe that Rush Limbaugh should have the right to buy a football team in the NFL? How many people here believe that players who are chosen by the team that Rush Limbaugh owns should have the right not to play for him? That's an interesting question, one we're going to examine in just a little bit. Coming up, Rush Limbaugh. He is now setting us straight on a remark that's been wildly publicized about what he has said in the past. Pardon me for speaking so loud. We are live at Florida International University. We'll be right back. And I welcome you back. We're live at Florida International University. Rush Limbaugh been getting a lot of heat lately. Some people are saying it's not fair at all. All he said is he wants to own a NFL franchise, the St. Louis Rams. Much of the criticism has come from some NFL players who are actually saying we're not willing to play for someone like that because he has been divisive. But one of the quotes that's been attributed to Rush Limbaugh is the one about him saying that slavery built the South, and I'm not saying that we should bring it back. I'm just saying that it had its merits. For one thing, the streets were safer after dark. Among the news organizations that reported that yesterday was our show at 3 o'clock. Limbaugh's response to this is, and we want to be fair to Rush, he says, we've gone back, we've looked at everything else, and there is not even an inkling that any of the words in that quote are accurate. It is outrageous. So Rush Limbaugh is denying that that quote has come from him. Obviously, that does not take away the fact that there are other quotes who have been attributed to Rush Limbaugh, which many people in the African-American community and many other minority communities do find offensive. Nonetheless, it is a major controversy, not only in sports, but it's also entered the news arena when members of the NFL Players Association came out yesterday and said they, too, were going to tell the commissioner that he should not allow Rush Limbaugh to own a team. Isiah Thomas, you've been involved in administration. Should Rush Limbaugh, despite what people think of him, be allowed to have an NFL franchise if he so chooses to buy one?
Can you do me a favor? Yeah. I didn't get a chance to hear or see the quote.
Rush,
can someone say it to me? Or
outside of the quote, Rush Limbaugh is being criticized in the African-American community. Many people, including players, are saying they're not comfortable working for him because he's had a divisive past. Do you, as someone who's in sports, think that everyone should have the right to have a football team if they so choose? Or Dr. Rosenberg, someone who's also been involved in the business of sports, or Pete Garcia, who worked with the Cleveland Browns?
I think, Rick, I'll tell you this much. In a society that we live a freedom of choice, he has the right to buy a football team. The players will have a right in free agency not to play for him. And the only thing I see where it's going to be real negative for him is you have Stephen Ross, the Miami Dolphins, who incorporates the Williams sisters, Mark Anthony. He's incorporating the community. Do the players want to play for somebody like Stephen Ross when it comes down to it, or Rush Limbaugh? They're going to have that choice.
So it's up to him to decide. It's a PR nightmare for him. That's the way it works out. All right, let's do this. When we come back, you're going to actually see the tape of Florida International University's football team on the field against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. We were there. We took our cameras. It's quite a story. And the kid who escaped from Fidel Castro's Cuba would end up being one of the big dogs at Florida International University. Their stories when we come back. Stay right there. We're at FIU.